dangerous are elephants, really? Why shouldn't you go near animals that look cute? And what dangers may await us in animals in the water? Now you're about to see everything. In this episode, I'll show you animals that are much scarier and more dangerous than you thought. Let's go! Elephant. Let's start with these amazing giants. In many countries, the elephant is considered a symbol of calmness and kindness. And indeed, these animals are not reckless. They're quite balanced, walk peacefully, eat grass, spend time with their congeners, and do not touch anyone. But this doesn't mean that elephants are safe. Yes, elephants ridden by tourists, baby elephants, or elephants we see at fairs and circuses do not pose a threat. But real wild elephants are almost the most dangerous thing in the animal world. Never underestimate the size of these giants. Being the largest land animals in the world, elephants have no enemies. Animals that hunt them do so either out of desperation or recklessness, and do it very rarely at that. No sane animal will mess with such a giant. That goes for people as well. Do not test the nerves of the elephant. These animals easily destroy cars and entire villages. Trampling a person is as easy for them as it is for us to crush an ant. It's especially dangerous to approach an elephant during the musth period. This is a condition in which the elephant is characterized by extremely aggressive behavior. In this state, an elephant can attack an animal or a person for no reason, like some kind of predator. It'll be impossible to survive after such a skirmish. Black-footed cat. And here is the complete opposite of the elephant. I mean that it's a real predator, and this creature is also very small. The black-footed cat weighs only 3 pounds and reaches only 20 inches in length. It looks very cute. You wouldn't say it's dangerous or scary, but it really is. This cat may not be dangerous for humans, but it is very dangerous for the inhabitants of Africa. The fact is that this is a wild cat, and it's one of the best hunters in the entire animal world. And it's also a universal killer. Every day, or rather every night, the black-footed cat kills about 15 animals. Leopards or lions can only dream of such statistics. This cute furball keeps rodents, birds, reptiles, invertebrates, and even baby antelopes in fear. But don't think that the black-footed cat does all this because it enjoys taking someone's life. It simply became hostage to the peculiarities of its body. The black-footed cat needs to hunt a lot because daily the body of this killer requires food in the amount of 1/6 of the weight of the cat itself. That's about half a pound. So the black-footed predator runs around the savannas finding prey that'll keep it alive. Giant anteater. It's also a glutton, but it doesn't eat any rodents or reptiles. The giant anteater lives up to its name by eating ants and termites. It eats them in huge quantities. It's hard to believe, but in a day, it can eat 30,000 insects. A 24-inch long tongue, moistened with sticky saliva, helps it in this. By the way, the anteater has no teeth. So what's the danger? It's cute, clumsy enough, and eats only bugs. Should we be afraid of it? Yes, we should. The giant anteater has no teeth, but it has claws. They're very sharp and long. Do not forget about the size of the anteater itself. Not for nothing, it's called giant. This makes it very dangerous. If someone encroaches on the territory of the beast or tries to harm it or its babies, it will deal with the offender shortly. With a single blow of its leg, a giant anteater can kill a dog, a man, or even a jaguar. Moreover, the anteater has very poor eyesight, so it hits randomly without figuring out who or what's in front of it. A curious tourist or a jaguar that wants to eat it. Moose. Moose are very beautiful animals. Their antlers alone are incredible. They're very large and wide, so it's not surprising that these animals are hunted so often. Though it's a pity that this happens. It's better not to kill moose, but just admire their antlers, preferably from a distance. After all, although moose are herbivorous and cute, in fact they're extremely dangerous creatures. Many experts say that a moose is even more dangerous than a bear. Moreover, a moose can easily kill a bear, or at least chase it well. A human is a much easier target for it. If a moose is cornered, frightened, wounded, defending its territory or calves, or just having the mating season, it's very dangerous. The hooves on its front legs are sharpened, and with just one blow, the moose can crush the enemy's skull or inflict lacerations. The moose is also dangerous because of its size. Any moose is large, but there are real giants weighing more than half a ton. They can simply trample the enemy. In addition, moose are very dangerous on the roads. Hitting a moose at high speed is like colliding with another car, and at the very least, this can threaten serious injuries to the driver and passengers. Okay, the moose is a beautiful and graceful animal, but you can't say that it looks completely harmless. But you can say that about this animal. It's not a lemur, it's a slow loris, one of the primate genera. You can drown in its eyes. They're so cute and expressive. And the animal itself weighs only about 2 pounds and reaches 12 to 16 inches in length. It lives in Asia, and perhaps someone may want to get close to a slow loris, pet it, or even try to take it in their hands. I strongly advise against this. There is incredible power lurking in this cute creature. The thing is, the slow loris is venomous. The venom is secreted by its forelimbs, so when the slow loris feels threatened, it sucks the venom from its hands and smears it on its head. This is the first level of defense. If that doesn't work, the slow loris bites. If the bite's successful, the offender or predator may die of suffocation. A human can also fall victim to this cutie, so you shouldn't mess with it. Raccoon. The raccoon is not only cute, but also a very hilarious creature. Raccoons have a very funny appearance. They themselves are often chubby and do all sorts of interesting things. For example, ridiculously steal food, hug, take funny poses, and so on. Raccoons can be admired for a long time, it's a fact, just as much as the fact that they can be dangerous. First of all, you shouldn't forget that raccoons are predators. At the very least, they pose a threat to pets, from which they often steal food. They're also dangerous to their prey, but it can be very different because raccoons are omnivores. A raccoon can also attack a person, but this doesn't happen so often. And here we come to the second reason. Raccoons are carriers of many diseases, the most dangerous of which is rabies. A healthy raccoon attacking a human is really rare, but rabid raccoon attacks are not rare at all. If you see a raccoon running toward you during the day, it's most likely rabid. It's better to stay as far away from such a raccoon as possible. Rabid raccoons are easy to distinguish from healthy raccoons. They salivate profusely, twitch, and simply behave very strange. The same is true for many other rabid animals, from dogs and coyotes to foxes. This seal looks really cute. No matter what it does, curiously studying the camera or sleeping, it does not inspire fear, but only until we know its dark side. Now it's already beginning to open its terrible mouth, wriggle in the water like some ancient monster, or mercilessly hunt animals, or even try to attack people. It's the leopard seal, and it's an amazing case in the animal world, a case where the animal looks both cute and creepy at the same time. But still, there are more creepy things about these seals. Leopard seals live in Antarctica, and there they keep penguins and other seals in fear. They can get out on the ice to grab a penguin, or they can go 1,000 feet deep to get prey there. They can move at a leisurely pace, or they can accelerate sharply to 25 miles per hour. Leopard seals are unpredictable. They act suddenly, and most importantly, they are completely ruthless. It even happens that they hunt someone but don't eat them. In this way, they just hone their skills. They attack people very rarely, but if the attack takes place, there's probably no chance of survival. A leopard seal will firmly cling to its prey, use all its skills, and do everything so that the prey will never escape from its cute, but at the same time creepy jaws. Flamboyant cuttlefish. And since we've already moved into the water, let's take a look at another attractive but dangerous sea creature. The flamboyant cuttlefish has a very bright color, because of which it may seem to someone that the animal's not dangerous, but this is not true at all. This cuttlefish does not attack penguins and does not pull anyone to the bottom. It spends much less energy and neutralizes its enemy with venom. Its venom is very powerful. One dose is enough to kill 26 people. The toxin of the flamboyant monster is very similar to that of the blue-ringed octopus. This means that it has a paralytic effect. The venom of the flamboyant cuttlefish can stiffen the muscles so that a person remains conscious but is powerless to do anything. At the same time, its venom also affects the organs and systems of the victim's body, so death can occur from suffocation. Gorilla. Decades of research on these apes indicate that extreme caution should be exercised when interacting with them. At first, gorillas were looked upon exclusively as dangerous and cruel animals. Many movies about King Kong are a direct confirmation of this. But since the 70s of the last century, opinions began to change. Thanks to the studies of primatologists, they're no longer considered cruel and ruthless. Knowing this, a lover of forests and exotic photographs named Adrian went in the thick of things and somehow began to squeeze the little monkey. However, quite unexpectedly, the little monkey began to scream, which of course its mother quickly noticed. It immediately attacked Adrian without a second thought and took the baby back. The man miraculously didn't get into trouble and remained unharmed. His nerves of steel and the right decision saved him. What would you have done in such a case? Would you have kept cool or just tried to run away? Walking with rhinos. A man named Rian Boshoff and his friends traveled to South Africa to track a leopard. They drove past a national park in their car, and a white rhino didn't like the guests very much. The animal decided to teach the people a lesson and rushed in pursuit of the off-roader along with its congener that joined in for company. The dynamic and breathtaking footage shows the rhinos chasing the vehicle relentlessly for several minutes. Rhinos are not such slow creatures. For all their weight, they can run up to 31 miles an hour. All in all, Rian and his friends were lucky. Although they didn't find the leopard, they filmed a very cool chase. Polar bear. In search of new material for his channel, a reporter went to the North Pole and almost said goodbye to his life. As he was filming under the protection of a glass dome, a polar bear suddenly appeared and attacked the reporter's shelter for 50 minutes. Kudos to whoever built such a sturdy dome, the rescued man thought after the incident. Surprisingly, the man even managed to take high-quality pictures during the attack. That's what I call a professional. And how would you have behaved in his place? Would you have controlled your emotions or just closed your eyes and hope for the best? Hammerhead shark. This, in case you're not aware, is one of the most dangerous, vicious, and voracious members of the shark family, ranking third in the number of attacks on humans. The fisherman in this video definitely knew this fact when something incomprehensible first hit his kayak. A few seconds later, the boat shuddered again. The man turned around and saw a hammerhead fish circling around him, clearly looking for something to eat. The protagonist of the video took the only right decision. He took out a shovel and began to stun the fish, thereby scaring it away. It took more than 20 strokes for the hammerhead shark to finally retreat. In total, it followed him for about 1,600 feet. Elephant attack. The elephant is a large mammal that many people associate with something harmless and affectionate. In fact, in relation to humans, it is, as long as we don't pose a danger to the animal and its family. In this video, a group of tourists was traveling through Africa in a special off-roader. They caught sight of a large elephant and its calf crossing the road. Of course, everyone grabbed their cameras and took a picture to remember. But before they could even check to see if they'd gotten a good shot, the huge animal was already hurtling after the off-roader. Most likely, the creature thought the car could be dangerous for its herd, so it caught up with the vehicle and hit it to the screams of the passengers. At this point, the chase stopped. Apparently, elephant territory was over and no one else was in danger. Do not remain indifferent. That's what you can say about a brave surfer named James Taylor, who, while on vacation with his wife, happened to see a giant squid in the sea. The guy didn't squeal or immediately swim away because he noticed that there was something wrong with the creature. James's gut was right. The squid was hurt. Trying to help, the guy threw the mollusk a rope, but it chose a much more convenient way. It threw its tentacles on a board and, grasping it, made it to the shore. People quickly divided into two camps in the comments. The first praised the name of the hero in our time, who did not remain indifferent, while the second, on the contrary, thought that with this action, James has only made the squid worse. In any case, the mollusk unfortunately died. It happened already on the beach. I think that's enough aggressive animals for today. Now, I'll tell you about cute penguins. Kidnapping. To begin with, penguins are no strangers to stealing. For example, they can shamelessly steal rocks from each other. These These flightless birds use them to build their nests. Although this is a crime, it's nothing by the standards of animals. What's worse is that penguins kidnap their own congeners. Usually they kidnap the youngest of the penguins. Yeah, I'm talking about baby penguins. In general, penguins are in constant danger. They can be killed by the incredible cold, hunger, or some predator. But danger can also come from adult penguins. The fact is that when a female penguin loses a baby, it can go to its neighbor and steal its egg. But more often, females kidnap the chick that's already hatched and fledged. Sometimes whole raids are arranged. Several penguins can try to kidnap a chick at once, which is often accompanied by the use of force. Sometimes the chicks are lucky, but more often they leave the parent nest and go to the other adult penguins. However, the duration of such parenthood doesn't last long. The female cares for the stolen baby for several hours, days, or weeks, and then loses interest in the chick and just leaves it. The meaning of such behavior of the bird is a mystery. Scientists generally doubt that there's logic in these actions. By the way, as for the loss of a chick, this is a very big pain for penguins. Look how hard they feel the death of the chick. They truly mourn it and grieve. According to scientists, the kidnapping of chicks causes the same emotions, so we can safely say that penguins cause each other terrible psychological pain. Infidelity. Many people think of penguins as monogamous birds that gently and lovingly care for their partners. In fact, this is only partially true. Gen 2 penguins are quite monogamous. They often cement a long-term union, and before starting a relationship, the male gives the female a beautiful stone, which symbolizes the seriousness of its intentions. It's sort of like an engagement ring in our world. As for most other penguins, they enter into a long-term relationship with each other in order to survive the harsh Antarctic winter. Because of this, they're considered faithful and loyal to each other. In fact, more than 80% of penguins divorce every season and regularly look for a new partner. But even more interesting is the fact that penguins are no strangers to cheating. While in a relationship, a female penguin can have a fling with a new individual. So, for example, do the female Humboldt penguins, among them, every third cheats. And the Adelie penguins often sell their bodies. The lack of building material pushes many females to go and mate with another male in exchange for stones. As in the human world, some cheating remains a secret, but often the truth revealed. A penguin may even spot its female with another male. Of course, this will immediately lead to a fight. This is another factor that reveals a different side to penguins. They're very dangerous in fights and can cause serious damage to each other. For example, in this footage, the male returned to the nest and discovered that its mate had already found another male. Penguins immediately pounce on each other, pecking and beating each other with their wings. Unlike flying birds, which wing bones are hollow inside, penguins' bones have no internal cavities, and such attacks can cause significant damage. The damage was done. The males beat each other badly and stopped the fight to call the female. Now it needs to make a choice with which male it will stay. It preferred the homewrecker, but this decision didn't satisfy its first mate. It went after them and attacked the male again. The fight continued. The cheated penguin holds on like grim death, but realizes that it cannot win and, wounded, goes away. Fights between penguins are tough enough, but still, you don't see such fierce fights very often. Often, battles look brutal but end bloodlessly. Well, and the best battles are those in which almost no damage is done. Penguins just amusingly and lightly slap each other with their wings. This is how they sort out their relationship, demonstrate strength, and determine which of them is the boss here. Often there's a stare down before fights, and a third penguin controls the fight. It's something like a referee in MMA or boxing. In fact, it's often involved in the fighting as well. Mating. Mating is common in the animal world, but in the world of penguins, it's not so simple. You already know that penguins regularly cheat on each other, but that's not all. Scientists who have studied penguins have concluded that same-sex relationships are common between them. In fact, it's not a big deal at all, especially considering that adult penguins can have sexual relations even with chicks and dead females. Even experienced scientists who saw it with their own eyes were shocked. At one time, this material was deemed too explicit to make it to public. Scientists do not fully understand what this is all about, but according to one version, such strange and even creepy sexual relations are the result of inexperience of male penguins. Scientists say that they simply make mistakes in mating. Not too good mistakes, to be honest. It's okay if we're talking about same-sex relationships, but molesting chicks or mating with breathless females? That's too much. In any case, even knowing all these facts, many people will still think of penguins as cute creatures. In general, they are indeed cute and cool, but not all of them. For example, crested penguins have a very bad temperament. These birds, which live on the southern coast of Africa, South America, and New Zealand, are quite aggressive. They can easily attack any object or pounce on their congeners for no reason. They also scream very nasty and shrill. You can distinguish these penguins by a yellow crest, so if you see such a screamer in the wild, it's better to stay away from it. As you can see, life is not easy for penguins. These creatures can be dangerous to each other, hurting each other, cheating, bullying, and beating each other. But that's only half the trouble, because penguins also have enemies that make their lives even more difficult. Keep watching to see the animals that hunt penguins and learn about the most unusual penguin on the planet. Leopard seal. This animal is one of the main enemies of penguins. On land, penguins are not particularly in danger, but they often have to dive into the water for fish, and there, leopard seals are waiting for them. Maybe they don't look very threatening outwardly. In fact, they're very dangerous predators which mercilessly deal with their enemies. Also, the leopard seal can climb into the ice floe and kill the penguin, which is not far from the water. However, these predators usually climb onto the ice floe in the second stage of the hunt if the prey manage to escape them in the water. Fur seal. Here's another seal that poses a great danger to penguins. However, in this case, it's even creepier. Fur seals not only attack and eat penguins, but also engage in sexual intercourse. Even small seals can harass penguins, and adults force penguins into sexual intercourse. Several such incidents are known, and they're all similar. Each time, the fur seal would chase and catch the penguin and then get on top of it. Killer whale. There's no surprises in this case. The killer whale, or orca, is one of the world's best ocean predators, if not the best at all. The orca's favorite food is seals, but penguins can also become prey. They hunt penguins both in the water and near the ice. If we consider the second option, the tactics are approximately the same as for hunting seals. Orcas attack in groups, make waves, and also hit the ice floe from the bottom, so the penguin loses balance and falls down into the water. There, orcas will kill it in no time. Also, in the water, the local sharks pose a threat to the penguins. They will definitely take the opportunity to devour the inattentive penguin, but only if there are no orcas nearby. In this case, the sharks themselves will have to think about protection. And finally, to lighten the mood, I suggest you take a look at the most unusual penguin in the world. On the outside, he looks quite ordinary, same coloring, same shape as everyone else, and so on. But in reality, it is a sir, a knight, and a general. And I'm not kidding now. The penguin's name is Sir Nils Olav, and he is respected throughout Norway. He is an honorary commander and mascot of the Norwegian King's Guard, as well as a brigadier general. It all started in 1972. At that time, the Norwegian King's Guard was participating in the Royal Edinburgh military tattoo. At the request of Lieutenant Nils Egeland, the local zoo allowed to make one of the penguins a kind of son of a regiment of the Norwegian King's Guard. The penguin was named Nils Olav and given the rank of Lance Corporal. On each visit of the King's Guard to the Royal Edinburgh military tattoo, Nils Olav became promoted to a higher rank. Already in 1987, he became a sergeant, and in 2005, he became a colonel-in-chief. During these decades, several penguins have already died, but the Norwegian Guard replaced the deceased with a new individual each time so that the dynasty lives on. The current general is Nils Olav III, and he's doing fine. Soldiers and guardsmen line up in front of him, officers salute him, and the penguin himself conducts inspections and takes part in ceremonies like a real general. That's all, guys. Would you like to see penguins in person? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and see you later.